Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Ultra and welcome to a new video series. Today we're going to be checking out Imperator Rome by one of our favorite game companies, Paradox. The game's been out for a while and it came out to very mixed reviews, to put it mildly. There's been many updates since its launch. There was actually the most recent one. They call it the Marius update, and they focus on the generals, like the inheritors of Alexander's empire, like the Seleucids, Antigonids, Egypt, and Macedon. It's not a complete overhaul, but there's just too many features to mention. In a little intro of what they changed, quite a bit. But if anyone who doesn't know about this game, like what is Imperator Rome? Basically, starting off in 304 BCE or 450 in the Roman calendar, you have to pick an ancient nation. Any of these nations you can pick, all the way from up here in Scotland or Ireland, any of these tribes, all the way over to the Middle East, down the Nile River, all the way down here to Kush, all the way here, and all the way over to India. It's quite a large map. So really just a ton of stuff you could do. All the major players are here, of course, like Armenia, Seleucids, everybody's here. A little bit of here's the Black Forest area here. I guess there's no tribes, or there's no like civilized tribes were in this area, I suppose. But you can even do up here, even into like Sweden, the Vikings, anywhere you want during this time period. So we're going to do a little playthrough of the new update, and we're going to see what's what. Now, on the left here, it has a list of all the different, things that it's suggesting for you to do. We are going to start off with Rome, just to do a little bit of playthrough. If you guys are into the series, we can definitely check out, one of the other kingdoms. I was thinking about maybe doing Egypt. I was thinking about doing a playthrough of Egypt, or actually, now that I'm looking at it, something like Judea might be fun, because it's so small. I find it small to do fun to do a small nation and kind of like grow it. But just for the purposes of checking out the new patch, what's going on, we're going to be picking Rome. So you click on your nation, as if you click on any nation, it will come up here on this screen. So here's a Rome here. They actually have a real flag. It's supposed to, most of these nations just kind of have like, generic randomized flags. But it looks like the Etruscans, some nations, Carthage, some places actually have real flags like Rome does. But anyways, that's just all like graphical things. I think there's tons of mods out there you can get to like change the flags, change everything, all different kinds of stuff. But anyways, here we go. We're going to start off as Rome. So there's no more kings. We're now into the consul period of Rome. So there's actually, it started off as 2 consuls because they didn't want to have, after being that last king of Rome, which I think they threw off like the Tarpeian Rock or something, they thought that no one man should have too much power, so they ended up being like co-consuls, and each one had his own military force, and they would join together to fight their campaigns. That's pretty much how it worked, give or take. We start off with some subjects. The subject, Marcia here, this one here, whatever it's called. What's it called? Palignia, Nuceria, and what's this? And then Fretentia. Okay, my Latin is terrible, so I apologize way in advance for how bad the Latin is going to sound. So let's click on Iron Man, and yeah, let's get started. Alright, Ceratos Populus Romanus. Here we go. For over 20 years, the nascent Roman Empire has fought a harsh campaign against the Samnites. Samnites are this green area here. They're like an archenemy of Rome to begin with. So there's 2 archenemies of Rome, the Samnites and the Etruscans here. Both of them did not like how fast Rome was growing. Although victory often seemed far from grasped, the war ended in Rome's favor. Okay, we freed Neapolis. I guess these territories here, they were under Samnite control. In the north, Etruscan people eye expansion of the Republic with apprehension. To the south, there's a myriad of Greek city-states plot behind one another's backs. And will Rome rise? Okay, so here it is, the 2 consuls here. Here's the Samnite ruler. I don't know if he's a consul. Here's the consul of Etruria. And here's the Suffet of Carthage. And Carthage is, one of these unavoidable steamrollers which we're going to have to come up against eventually. All right, for the Republic. Okay, so we start off. Let's just have a look at our nation here. Nation overview. So we're Rome. We have the Roman heritage, which means we get these benefits here. We are an aristocratic republic. This can be changed. This is just how we start. And as an aristocratic republic, we get these 2 military and 1 oratory idea slots. You can actually put any idea into these slots, but if you want the benefits grayed out here below, you'll have to match these. So if you, for example, so military, you click on this, if you picked a military idea, you would fill the slot, and I will do so now. I'm just going to do this. First of all, I like to do reinforce and morale recovery, just in case you lose a battle. I mean, I don't plan on losing, but it's always good to have. And I'm going to do permanent shipyards too, because our ship costs are astronomical otherwise. Morale, all three of these are really good. But I'm going to start off with these two first, and I'm going to do I'm just going to match up to get the benefits, and I'm going to do for the oratory ideas, it's down here in the oratory tab or slot, and I'm going to do the loyalty of generals and loyalty of admirals. Now, you don't have to pick these ones. You could have picked any ideas to slot in there. Like I'm not a min-maxer, okay? If you're looking for the absolute best min-max meta to run the numbers as max as possible, like I'm being straight up with you, find another playthrough. This is about having fun. We are going to have fun to play this game to the best of our abilities. And yeah, I'm doing this so I don't have to worry about this changing later on. Honestly, like I'll look at these again once we unlock more military things. I definitely will be open to changing them, but I want to get these benefits in their loyalty up, Freeman happiness up. Great, let's move on with you know what I mean. Here it is here, so you can actually change if you get these, if you fulfill the requirements. You can actually change to a different type of government or different decisions, major decisions like. Expanding Campus Marius, which gives you benefits, or you can change the Theocratic Republic, which changes the government. There's tons of stuff to do in this game. Just an absolute, you know, it can get away from you. It can get a bit overwhelming. So we're going to go a bit slow. Like I said, I'm not going to try and min-max this. We're going to have some fun with it. This is our plan. It's going to be a fun playthrough. Okay, so let's just see at the top. Now, if you guys have ever played something like EU4, you'll recognize these. If you've played CK3, you'll recognize some other features. Like this game is like a mishmash of all the Paradox games. And that's kind of one of the reasons why it got bad reviews, is because it's like you're trying to be everything to everybody. You're not your own independent thought, you know what I mean? You're not Imperator Rome, your own type of game. You're a mix. You're a mix of everything, and you're trying too hard to be, you know, a little bit of everything, and it's just not working out. So, okay, it is what it is. I think the game's gotten a lot better since release, a lot better, especially with this new update. It's making great strides. But it's still not there yet, but it will get there soon. Okay, so let's look at our, I want to look at the diplomacies down here. So let's have a look at our diplomacy, where we start off with. Yeah, so here's our subjects. Subjects means they pay us in people. They pay us manpower, and they also send their armies out to fight with us if we go to war. Okay, and if they are a subject, they can, it's called the feudatory, they can eventually be absorbed into Rome. There's a process to that, which we'll kind of get into a little bit later on. All right, now we are actually at truce with the Etruscans, which is unfortunate. We're at truce for 8 years, which is actually a long time. So it looks like our first battle, it might be something like Sabini's, Umbrians, or maybe in the Samnites. We'll kind of see. Diplomatic actions, just in this tab here, just to show you. This is our stance. So it goes to show stances. You can actually choose any of these stances. Neutral gives you diplomatic relations +1. That's appeasing stance. It's just, if you're like a small nation with big guys next door, you want to appease like your allies and people around you. Mercantile is for making money. Bellicose is Rome, like the aggressive stance. So you get aggressive expansion impact reduction, which is huge. And domineering is, if you're someone like the Antagonists, for example, would have a lot of subjects underneath you, you want to have domineering, so your loyalty of your subjects, they won't all be rebelling against you all the time. It's basically that's what. We're going to stick with Bellicose for now, because we are going to be doing some aggressive expansion, absolutely. Okay, the first things first, next, let's do an omen. So let's go into the religion. Here's the religion of Rome. And it works the same for any nation, more or less. Each category, so there's going to be war, economy, culture, and fertility. Those are the 4 major categories, okay? Each category has a variety of gods you can pick from. So, for example, we have now Mars. You could change it to Neptune, Hercules, Castor, Apollo. For Jupiter, you can change it to Minerva, Fortuna, Juno, Sol. For just you can see, and each one has its own benefits. Again, this is a min-max. If you're going to min-max this, you're going to have to really study each and every god. I like the morale of armies, especially when you're fighting against, you know, other good armies like the Etruscans. You'll want to have good morale. I'm going to pick Mars. If you wanted to do the citizen output, you can change it to this. So it's asking me basically, it's asking me for 5 years, which god do you want to focus on for 5 years? Because we're going to be going to war fairly soon, I'm going to be picking Mars to start with, get our new territories going, you know, kick some butt here for a bit, and then when we start doing the building up the Roman, like the farms and building up our actual land, I might switch it to like something like Mercury or Ceres for fertility, Or I might change this to Diana, actually, because Diana actually has a holy site in Capua. And this actually gives you an extra benefit here. So we have, for example, if you wanted to click on Jupiter, we have the world wonder of the Optimus Maximus, like the temple to Jupiter here. And inside the temple, there's additional benefits of these reliquies. And then we actually have 5 reliquies in our bank we can pick from. And you can insert them into the temple to give you benefit upon the compounded benefits here. But we're going to pick Marius to start with. Click on that. Great. Okay, so we got 6.31 discipline bonus. Great, amazing. That's for 5 years. The next thing to look at is we're going to do, since we're in the screen, we're going to do stability. It's going to cost us 43 political influence points, but actually, you know what? If you wanted to do it, you could do it right here. If you start losing stability, which you get these benefits here, you would click on this button, which is a sacrifice. And every time you click on it, it gets more expensive. The same as an EU4. Very similar button. So we're actually, you know what? We're actually growing by 0.16. We're going to leave it. I thought it might have been at 0, stagnant, but since we're actually going up a bit, I will leave it. If we dip below 50, I'll hit this button here. I'll do a sacrifice. But in the meantime, we'll save the political influence points. Okay, next. It's the beginning steps. All right, it's quite a lot to go through. We're going to do the next thing here is the invention. Okay, so there are 4 different invention categories. There's military, civic, oratory, and religious. Each one is based on, you get these points based on research done by your researchers. Your researchers are guys who get government offices. Like here's the offices here. The guys work in these offices, and you get. Eventually they research these points, and you'll get yourself innovations. And innovation points is this like you know, I think this is like an architectural design tool. I'm not sure what this thing is, but anyways, you click on this, or you don't click on it, but it just shows you there's 8. So let's do military first. Now you zoom in and zoom out with the mouse wheel. Click your middle mouse button and drag. It took me like forever to figure out like why can I not move this? Like I was trying to right click, left click, and then figured out it's middle mouse button to click and drag this around. There you go. And there's 3 categories. There's military artisan category here, which is your kind of like your soldier training. There's this one here, which is like your siege training, and this one here, which is your ship training. You're Rome. You're going to be at war 99% of the time of your existence. So this is going to be your most important category. I'm going to start off. I'm going to pretty much just. I'm going to go 2, 4, 6. I think I'm just going to do 2 and 2. 2 for each category to start with. You don't need your navy straight off. You'll need, once you start expanding down into the med, then you'll really need it. But right now, I'm going to do military artisans, which gives me a free political investment, or 1 free province investment, which we're going to go into there. Anyways, I was going to click on this one first to unlock this tier. I'm going to click on material science, which is army weight. Do this one here. Okay, next we're going to go to civic. We're going to do the first 2 here, right to be heard. Okay. And we're going to do standardized measures for import value. Great. Next, we're going to do oratory. We are going to do aggressive. Oh, this one's absolutely important because once you start taking over territory, or even if you like certain actions you do as your consul, cost aggressive expansion points. Like not only just winning wars, but just even like doing like a murder scheme costs you aggressive expansion. So having this would really, really, really help. And next, we're going to go to diplomatic relations +1, loyalty of characters. I'm going to start off with loyalty of characters. I really, really want loyalty up. That's just one of the things I've always struggled with in this game is having loyal characters. Due process, okay, so monthly popular ruler gain. Monthly ruler popularity gain, I totally read that backwards. And then we can do integrated culture, happiness. I don't know if I need to do this just yet because we're pretty much all going to be, until we start really expanding, all going to be Italian. We're all going to be cultural. You know what I mean? We're all going to be more or less the same culture groups. I might actually go back, throw 1 more into military. Supply limit +10, learning on the job, starting experience. This is more if you're raising legions, which we're going to get into in a second. Right now we're still running with levies. I might actually do sapping because siege engineers. It's going to help us do faster sieges, fort defense, disciplines 2 against fighting. I'm going to do the Boeotian helmet. Discipline. Okay, we're now out of points. We're done. Okay, next. Lack of commander. Okay, we start off with 2 navies. And I usually, honestly, I just kind of like, I tend to just do this, blend them into one, and let's pick ourselves a naval commander. This is our best commander we have. He's a Marshal 10, but if you look at his extra points here, extra skills, he's an archer, horse archer, light infantry guy. Is he the best use as being a navy commander, even if he's a 10, right? Brave cohort. No, I think I want to go for somebody else. I'm going to go for this 9. I'm going to put this 9 as the naval commander. Okay, now just looking at the Navy screen here, there's a few options. Create new unit, detach, split in half, capture port, attach. Lots of different things to do, but I'm actually going to look at this one here, the frontal assault. So basically, it works the same for land units, more or less, with just different options, but the concept is the same. If you click on this frontal assault here, it shows you here your effective of your tactic based on the makeup of your ships. Okay, so for example, our looks like the small ships, Liburniums, is that what they're called? I can't see what they're called. But anyways, yeah, Liburnians, yes. Liburnians have 0 effect on close rank tactics, so you don't want to pick that. But harassment has 100% effectiveness. But then it shows you what it counters. Like if someone comes at us with frontal assault, we're going to take a 10% reduction in this. But we're still way ahead of everything else, so we're going to hit harassment with this. And we're going to leave them in port for a while until we figure out what else we're doing. Okay, so that's it for the major things. Now we have to look at the trade routes. These are the next pop-up here. So we're going to click on Rome. This is our capital. And here's our capital screen. And if you have never seen the original game, this looks, I mean, it's similar because I've seen the original one, but it is different. It looks a lot better. They changed the color, they made it all red here now. They definitely spruced it up a little bit. But here's your trade goods here. Each one gives you a benefit and then a bonus benefit if you have multiple of the same good. So for example, salt. Salt gives me a local monthly food modifier of 6%, okay? But if I have an extra salt, I get Legion maintenance cost minus 5%. But here, the wood, I only have 1 wood, so I get local manpower plus 2, but there's no bonus benefit, okay? So anything with a plus is a bonus. So one thing to keep track of is you go to trade, and you make sure you block surplus. We are not allowing any trade offers that would make us lose our capital bonus. Like we don't want to lose bonuses in the capital. If there's excess elsewhere, that's fine. But as long as we have our bonuses in the capital, we're good, okay? Just look at the screen. Here's our consul, okay? Here's the finesse. His ability to, the military guy we just saw was 10. So his finesse, like the ruling ability of a territory, his is 9. His policy right now is manpower, and local fort defense, because we were just at war, so that's probably why he had it. I probably would change this to, I'm going to change this to trade. I don't think we'd have to have it. Trade has commerce and food modifier. It's great. It's a great one to have. Another one is centralized or decentralized. Like if you have too much population, you click on decentralized to encourage migration outwards, or you could do acquisition of wealth, which is just straight up tax, but his wage goes up by 20%. So I like the trade as a good balance to start with. Can't change the governor of this territory because he is the consul. Now here's these provinces. So we get 1 free one because we did that talent. So we get 1 free one. Each one has their own benefits, as you can see. We get extra trade routes, pop cap, loyalty, or we can do extra building slots. So I have a free one. I'm going to leave it for now. I'm not going to use it right away. Import. Okay, let's look at imports. You know, imports affects your population. So here's our population here. The pops, this bottom one. So we have freemen. Freemen are like your, I don't know how you describe it. It's kind of like your, let's just see if it has it here. This is the lock. Here it is here. Pop type. So base tax is 0. They give you no money, but they give you manpower for your armies. They eat a little bit of food. Political weight of 1. Okay, and this, as opposed to citizens, oh, come on. Let it lock. Okay. No, come on. Nope, it's not gonna let me do it. Slave will do it. So slave gets a little bit of tax because they work for the money, but just let it lock. Citizen lock. Oh, come on. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get this to lock so I can read what citizen says. But if I move my mouse off it, no, it's not gonna let me do it. Anyways, basically citizens give you money. Freemen are your soldiers. Citizens are like the richer guys, and there's nobles, which are somewhere in here. Nobles are way high end, and nobles give you more research points, more trade routes. But they don't give you money. Basically, the citizens are the ones that give you the taxes. Nobles give you other benefits. Slaves gives you money. Freeman gives you soldiers. Okay? So you want to keep everybody happy as well. So here's the population breakdown. And are they happy? Are they not happy? Here you can see here are citizens. We have some Romans. We have some Jewish people. They're not terribly unhappy, but they're not greatly happy. So we're going to try and help out the citizens. We're going to bring something in that might help citizens. We're going to bring in earthenware. Earthenware. Nope, we can't bring in earthenware. What else can we bring in? Ooh, precious metals. Yes, we can do that. We're going to bring in precious metals from this territory here. That's going to help these guys become a little bit more happy, okay? Next, let's look at the freemen. What's good to have? Ship damage done is great. Wine we have. Leather is good because we have a lot of light infantry. I'm going to bring in leather. I'll bring it in from here. Okay. Base metals is good because it actually helps the offense, and more happiness with the freemen. And the freemen, I think, yeah, it's 39%. It's the biggest population is the freemen, so we're going to bring in a second thing for the freemen here. Next, 3 more to do. Now, for the slaves, I'm going to bring in some stone because slave happiness plus build cost reduction. I'm going to bring in stone. Stone is a great one to have. Marble is also good for noble happiness and tyranny reduction points, but look at the olives. I kind of want olives. Happiness. You want... Listen, the happier the better. Are they happy? They're not happy. I'm not going to bring it from Carthage. Just going to avoid Carthage altogether. And one more for now. Let's bring in a food. Let's bring in... So we have 2 grain. I'm going to bring in, I think, fish, food, freeman happiness, food modifier, just food straight up. I'm going to bring in fish. Can I bring in fish? Only from Carthage. Okay, we're going to bring in fish from Carthage from now. But we'll have to find someone else because eventually we're going to get into a bad situation with them. Okay, that's the basic setup map. Now let's look at what we want to do. The first steps are to look at the missions. Listen, you do not have to do these missions if you don't want to. I just find it as a nice way to kind of play through the game. It kind of structures it in a historically accurate way, which is fun. So let's hit start mission. And the mission here is... Roman Italia. Okay, so it wants us to expand into the Italian peninsula here. Okay, so encourage expansion or pan-Italian Congress. These are your first 2 things. Or you can destroy alliances, which is destroy the alliances of these guys and just go totally, nuts on your own. So pan-Italian Congress, as far as I remember from doing this, it's like you're trying to make alliances with all these people. I don't care about that. We're Rome. We're going to be conquering. So I'm going to do encourage expansion, which is going to give us claims on different territories. Casus Belli is a thing in this game. Yes, there's no Pope, there's no actual Casus Belli in these days. In these days, if Rome wanted something, they just encouraged their colonists to go out there, and then when the locals fought the colonists, the army would come in and save, quote-unquote, the colonists and just stomp everybody. So we're going to hit encourage expansion. Just clicking on it starts the mission. There's no click and go, it's just click, and you're done. And it's going to take, I think it takes about a year to go through it, but there's all kinds of pop-ups as this year goes on. And I think we're good to start. I think we've done enough for now. I do have some money in the bank, so let's just look at what we can build. I want to do 2 things. First and foremost, I'm going to go to Capua, which is not even, it's not my province. Okay, when I say mine, listen, remember, you're playing as Rome. There is a consul, there are governors, but you're not playing as any one consul or any one governor. You are playing as Rome, the nation of Rome. Just keep that in mind in your decisions, because it's not like, yes, I want this guy here, it's me, it's my consul, I want him to have all these crazy, games and triumphs and stuff. Yes, that's all great, but it's not you. The next consul that's elected could be a different family, you know what I mean? So you're trying to keep a balance. You don't want any one family to be totally ahead of the other ones, because that's not you. It's not like, like Rome Total War, where you're playing as like that one general and you want your one family to be miles ahead of everybody else. That's different. This is a balance. You're playing as the entire nation of Rome, so you're looking out for the people and everyone all together. So Capua, even though it's in a different province of Latium, it's still part of Rome. So I want to actually go to the buildings, and I want to build a port in Capua. We only have 2 ports so far. We actually own these territories here, which is kind of weird. I don't know how we got these. Maybe in the Samnite Wars. I don't know the exact history of these 4 territories right here. But it's part of Apua, which is part of this part down here. The Greeks are here, Samnites are here, and it's a Greek colony like right in the middle. Anyways, we're going to go to Capua, and we're going to hit on port. Okay, port's going to give us a pop cap increase. Ship recruitment speed. Well, it lets us build ships entirely. For now, we can't build ships in Capua at all. Pop migration speeds, all kind of good benefits. It's going to cost us 100 gold, which is, it is what it is. And we're going to hit that, and we're going to go. I would also like to do in Rome. I kind of wanted to do the aqueduct. It's 105 gold. Now, in the old version of the game, you would just like spam libraries for the research points. That was the old meta. It's just spamming libraries. It might still be the same way, but again, I'm not min-maxing this. I want to do this smartly. So I kind of went to the aqueduct to get the pop-up. At the same time, I mean, like, you can see all these like suburbs of Rome. They have like basically no buildings. This guy has 2 ports. What's this guy have? Training camps. Yeah, a couple of training camps. Interesting. Okay, so I kind of want to do the aqueduct. I'm going to let the aqueduct go. I mean, let the game go for a bit, just to have some gold coming in, and then once I have enough, I think it's, how much is it? 100.5. Okay. Yeah, once it goes up a bit, I'm going to build the aqueduct. And I want the population to grow here. Because, for multiple reasons, one of which is your military. Your military, when you start the game, you have no legions like the original game. You start the game with levies, which means your local troops that they're brought in for the warring season. They go, off the farms, and then they go back to the farms. This is not a standing army, okay? And each territory has their own, depending on the type of culture. It could affect this. So right now we're having this is all Roman culture, more or less. So we have all Roman type troops here. Some heavies, some lights, like cavalry, I should say, and then a whole bunch of light infantry. And then down here in Campania, this province here, we only have a couple of territories, so they only have a couple of small guys. But no, once you raise this, that's 30 pops. 30 pops are leaving your farms to go fight. And if you lose a lot of pops in a big savage battle, you're going to be losing a lot of pops from your territory. So just keep that in mind. Eventually you'll be able to get legions, and then eventually we'll be able to unlock traditions, which gives us all kinds of benefits. We're going to get into that. There's no need to look at this. I mean, you can look at it now if you want to, but we're miles away from this. So let's just, in the meantime, look at this. That's the reason why I want the population to go up in Rome, because as you can see, it's our biggest levy, and as we get more population, we're going to get more levies, bigger armies. Okay, so let's look at what they want. People want to trade with us, so what do they want to do? In the meantime, let's go on with the Etruscan threat. Okay, Marcus Aemilius Pallas. Who is this guy? Oh, he is, does he have a job? Doesn't tell me his job here. I don't think he has a job. I'm not sure. Anyways, the Etruscan city-states have proved time and again their hostility to Rome. Every turn they collude with the Umbrians. Umbrians are over here, and the Samnites are down here. Which is true. I think when the Romans fought the Samnites, like the guys up here kicked off against them in the north, and they had to fight a two-fronted war, which actually the Romans ended up winning. Etruscans must be destroyed, which will give us claims on Etruscan territories, or we can say the positive one is, we must defend ourselves, which is going to give us, they're going to get a tenant opinion. Nope, we're going to be going to war, so they must be destroyed. I'm actually going to pause the game for a second, because I want to look at Lucania, and I want to see, I'm just wondering if I should do an alliance. What is their thing? Oh, they're in alliance with Samnium. It might be too late for an alliance with them. Okay. Because I know that Lucanians historically had a loose alliance with Rome, and they helped fight off the Samnites, but then Rome eventually stomped them anyways, because that's Rome. But okay, we don't need any alliances for now. We have our subjects. We'll be fine for now. Let's keep going with the game. Oh, here's a ton more stuff. What do they want? A cloth. Alright, anyways, let's look at our ships. We have our 10 ships here. Let's go to here. We're going to click on Build the Navy. We're going to build a bunch more ships. We need to build up our Navy. It's pathetic. We have that bonus to give us, cheaper shipbuilding rates. So we're going to hit a bunch of triremes. And we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll start with that and see how it goes. Oh yeah, this port's going. Do we have enough money now? No, we don't, because we just built the ship. So once we're getting quite a bit of gold going here. So once our gold gets back up to 100, I think it was 100.5, I'm going to build that aqueduct. Okay, Romano Sabine feud. Now Sabine is this green one right here. Sabinii. Okay. Yeah, these were one of the people that definitely colluded against us. In recent wars, yes, Sabinii will be erased from history. We're going to get a claim on all this territory. Let's keep going. Okay, stability is going up. Everything is looking really good. This is, war exhaustion is at a minus 0.16, which is perfect. Everything looking great so far. Ships going, it's building up our 2 ship yards. Once we have the Capua shipyard done, we're able to build from there. Deceitful Umbrians. Umbrians are up here, this brown one. Yes, they must submit to Rome. We're going to get a claim on Umbria.